Someone at Canadian Heritage either thinks we're too stupid to do any research or is so inept at their job that they didn't even bother to look at this guy on social media. Welcome everyone to another Monday edition of Ratioed. My name is Harrison Faulkner. What do you do if you work in the Trudeau government and you want to solve the non-existent problem of racism in Canadian broadcasting? If your answer was to hire the most racist person you could find on the internet and give them over $130,000 of taxpayer money, well, you'd be spot on. Next on the show, they really want us to eat bugs, guys. I don't think anyone is doubting that now. And it turns out that in Manitoba, for being a good student, you and your class members get to take home a big bag of barbecue-flavored crickets. Sounds like I'm lying, but I'm not. I swear. We have video footage of that, and we will get to it on the show. We wrap up the show with the Ratio of the Week award, as we always do. And this week, it is going to a very deserving winner. A winner who really wanted to take home the award this week. Her name, of course, as you all know, is Bonita Zerillo. She's a BC NDP MP, and she just had the thought of getting rid of indoor ice hockey rinks in Canada to solve climate change. What do you guys think of that? Let me know in the comments. What do you think, Canadians, of getting rid of indoor ice hockey rinks in the name of climate change? Sound like a good idea? Let me know. You know how it goes with YouTube. They want nothing more than to censor this video and make sure Canadians like you aren't able to see it. So help us out by giving this video a like and sharing it. And if you're feeling generous, consider donating to us at donate.tnc.news. All right, let's get into it. If you're plugged into Canadian politics on social media, it's likely that you've come across the name Laith Marouf. Laith Marouf is a senior consultant at a group called the Canadian Media Advocacy Centre. Now, this CMAC want to try and eradicate the non-existent problem of racism in Canadian broadcasting. And they want to eradicate racism by implementing anti-racism, which, as we all know, is just racism, but toward the right group of people. Because in today's society, as we all know, it's okay to be racist, just so long as you're racist against a particular group of people. So this group, CMAC, in their efforts to try and eradicate racism from Canadian broadcasting, have set up a series of events, 6 sort of town hall style events across the country, titled Building an Anti-Racism Strategy for Canadian Broadcasting, Conversation and Convergence. Trudeau's Liberal government, of course, not wanting to miss this great opportunity to advance anti-racism, jumped at the chance to help fund this group. So the Department of Canadian Heritage, the one government department which has probably done more to damage Canadian heritage than any other department, well, they have given this group and Laith Marouf $130,000, $133,000 to be exact, to help them put on this event. Now, here is where it gets a little interesting. Someone at Canadian Heritage either thinks we're too stupid to do any research or is so inept at their job that they didn't even bother to look at this guy on social media. Because it turns out Laith Marouf is probably the most anti-Semitic person you've ever come across on social media. For what seems to be quite a few years, this guy Laith Marouf has been tweeting blatant anti-Semitic and blatantly racist comments on Twitter and having no problem hiding it either. I mean, he's quite confident in himself, quite brazen in his racism. I gotta say, if there's one thing I'll give it to Laith Marouf, it is that he seems to not have any fear whatsoever of putting out what he has to say. And let me tell you, it is unbelievable. I'm not going to read all the comments that he has made about Jews because it's frankly not appropriate for this show. It's that bad. But there are a couple of them that I want to just highlight because it really goes to show you just how inept the people at Canadian Heritage are. Of course, it's extremely wrong for this guy to be a racist anti-Semite. It's even worse when taxpayer money goes into this guy's pocket to try and eradicate racism. This is what this so-called anti-racist consultant has to say about Jews. Quote, "You know all those loud-mouthed bags of human feces, aka the Jewish white supremacists? When we liberate Palestine and they have to go back to where they came from, they will return to being low-voiced of their Christian, secular, white supremacist masters." How nice. He also doesn't know how to spell there. Or how about this tweet? Quote, "I have a motto. Life is too short for shoes with laces, or for entertaining Jewish white supremacists with anything but a bullet to the head." So this guy that the government is giving money to solve racism in Canadian broadcasting tweets about Jews as human bags of feces and tweets about the idea of bullets in the heads of Jews. So this guy, who's probably the most blatant anti-Semite online, at least in Canada, is now leading an effort to eradicate racism in Canadian broadcasting. Unbelievable. So again, this funding is coming from the Department of Canadian Heritage. And I guess one of the ministers that works out of the Department of Canadian Heritage is the Minister of Diversity, because of course Canada has a Minister of Diversity. And a few days after these tweets became public, the Minister of Diversity, obviously sensing that someone in his department screwed up so badly that he may end up having to resign from his position, this guy said he would probe the decision. So he'd launch an investigation into how this could have possibly happened. That was a couple days ago. Then yesterday, on Sunday, knowing that Canadians were really upset about this, knowing that this guy and his group were still getting that funding from the federal government, he put out a damage control statement, which has been absolutely grilled. I mean, this guy is really facing the heat for it, and this is being recorded on Sunday, so by the time you watch this, there may have been new developments in the story. But this is what the statement reads that he put out on Sunday. As I've stated numerous times and it bears repeating, anti-Semitism, hate, and racism of any kind have absolutely no place in Canada. The reprehensible and vile comments made by this individual go against everything our government and our country stand for. My team and I are working to rectify this matter immediately, which we take extremely seriously. And I want to read some of the comments from this statement because he's absolutely getting roasted. Here we have this one. Why, Minister of Inclusion, have you failed to include the individual's name? Yes, I forgot to tell you. See, Ahmed Hassan, he's not just the Minister of Diversity in Canada. He's the Minister of Diversity and Inclusion because, as you know, it's super important here in Canada that we have a Minister of Diversity and Inclusion. It's really one of our top pressing issues. We have another one here. Maybe you can hire another anti-racism consultant to deal with your racist anti-racism consultants. What a joke this government is. And this one too. What individual minister? And what do you mean you're working to rectify the situation? It's not a situation. It's an unacceptable dumpster fire that your government started. Take a hose to it and dump him immediately. This guy, Laith Marouf, who's an expert in anti-racism, I guess, describes himself on LinkedIn as disrupting settler colonialism and oppression in the media since 1999. I guess, in the eyes of Laith Marouf, and perhaps in the eyes of the Department of Canadian Heritage, disrupting settler colonialism and oppression in the media includes being a raging anti-Semite and saying the worst things about Jews in Canada. Now, if you're like me, the idea of eating bugs sounds a lot like a punishment, right? Like one of those things you definitely don't want to do, not something you do if you had the choice. The only thing you do if, your family was starving, you were struggling, there's only so much food to go around, and you knew that if you eat the crickets, then you could give some of the food to your family. Under those circumstances, you would eat bugs, right? What if I told you in Manitoba, eating bugs is actually seen as a reward? Yes, a small little municipality called Pembina Valley in Manitoba has a thing called the Classroom of the Month Award. If your classroom wins the Classroom of the Month Award, every student in that classroom gets a little gift basket, and in that gift basket is a big bag of barbecue-flavored crickets. That's your reward for winning the Classroom of the Month Award. These poor kids, they just wanted to be good students. They just wanted to, engage in class, put their hand up, ask questions, be good students. And for that, they get to eat crickets, barbecue-flavored crickets. So there's a video of this on Twitter. It's going viral right now. It's clearly a few months old because they're all wearing like sweaters and all that, and they're all wearing masks in the school. But it's ridiculous. It's going viral. I want to show you this video. It's so sad. Can you imagine being one of those kids who just wants to be a good student? And in return, you get to eat the bugs. Watch this.
So there's this
Prairie
company
Cricket
right
Farm
here in Manitoba. They're called Prairie Cricket Farms.
Oh, look at this guy. The guy serving the kids crickets is sitting there with his little mask on, looking all jazzed, looking all happy to serve these kids crickets.
And what they do is they farm crickets and they put them in nice little bags, and then you can eat the crickets. We were conspiracy theorists, guys. We were conspiracy theorists for this. None of the kids want to eat the bugs. None of the kids want to eat the bugs. Look, you heard one of them say, I don't even want this. We just want it to be good students. These poor kids with their masks on. They have to keep their masks on. And in between, they can take their mask off to eat the bugs and then put the mask back on. Oh my God. You can't even make it up. And how was it? Was it good?
Yes.
Look, and this guy's signing autographs. Unreal. For being a good student, Timmy, here's a nice big bag of barbecue flavored crickets. Unreal. So I was like, okay, this could be fake because it looks so ridiculous that it had to be fake. When I first saw it, I was like, wow, they're all wearing masks. They take their mask off to eat the bug and then put the mask back on. Like it's straight out of a skit, right? So I did some digging. Prairie Cricket Farm. Turns out to be a real thing. And check this out. Check out what I found. This is from a 2020 Global News segment. And I just got to say, I feel really sorry for this journalist. I feel like they embarrassed this journalist a little bit. Just watch this.
I'm hearing in my ear right now, they're like, you need to try a cricket. You need to try a cricket. We're going to try a cricket. Which one is the best guy to try here?
I'd try the barbecue. Barbecue's my favorite.
Barbecue, okay. Oh, dear. All right, I'm just going to go for it here. This is happening. Should I sniff it or just eat it?
I would just eat it.
Okay.
Oh, God, don't eat it. Don't eat it.
Her face. Yes.
You know what? It's kind of like a chip.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
And healthy.
It's not that bad, guys. You see, Global News telling you it's not that bad. It's healthy and it tastes like a chip. Now it's your turn. And then get this. The anchors at this Global News studio, this Manitoba Global Newsroom, they ask her to eat a whole handful of the bugs, just in case her endorsement that it's healthy and it doesn't taste that bad and it tastes like a chip wasn't enough. They have her eat a handful of these bugs on screen on the news.
Okay.
She's doing
Let's
it.
just maybe a sprinkling. We're gonna go for a
We are so
sprinkling.
proud of you. A sprinkling.
It's like a healthy chip. It's good. It's good. Thanks, guys. We're gonna keep snacking away. Gabby, back to you.
These poor legacy media journalists, the things they will do for money. Don't you just feel bad for them guys at Global News? Don't you just feel bad for those poor journalists over there having to eat bugs, trying to convince us all that it's healthy for us, that they taste like chips? Just do it, guys. It tastes like chips. It's healthy. All right, everyone, you know what time it is on the show. It's time for the Ratio of the Week award, and you all know who it's going to. Bonita Zorillo. I told her to watch, so I know she's watching. Hi, Bonita. How's it going? I hope you're recovering from that pretty brutal ratio of yours. Well, too bad. You're the winner of the week award, whether you recovered or not. Bonita Zorillo tweeted the dumbest thing I've seen on Twitter in a very long time. Now, I try not to expect too much from the NDP. And this is a divided country, so the one way you can unite this divided country right now is to try and come after hockey. See what happens. See how Canadians take it when you try and ask us if we should get rid of indoor ice. And what, replace it with some plastic? Replace it with some fake ice so we can rollerblade? Bonita got so badly ratioed, guys, she deleted the tweet the same day. She fired this one off in the morning, and by what, 11 a.m., she had pulled it because she knew this was going to be on the show. You've given the award to people who have deleted their ratioed tweets before. It all counts the same, Bonita. You got a screenshot here. I caught it at 751 comments to 60 likes. So because Bonita pulled her tweet, we had to find your comments from other sources, including my Twitter page and some other Twitter pages. I want to pull some of the funny ones that you guys commented on my tweet. Here's this guy. Is indoor heating and cooling really needed? Just live in a tent on the land. Walk to work. Actually, don't work. Or how about this one? Hey, Bonita, why don't you ponder the damage your new leader Justin Trudeau has done to the hardworking Canadians your party used to support? How about this one? Holy crap, how could someone like this get a single vote, let alone elected? Hey, Bonita, here's an idea. Instead of telling Canadians to pay more for gas, pay more for heating and cooling their homes, instead of telling Albertans to just transition away from oil and gas, instead of telling us to change our lives, how about you tell China and India to actually do something about the climate there? There's not one single thing a Canadian government could do that will have any impact on the climate whatsoever. And I don't think you're all that dumb to not realize that. That's why I think what you're doing is actually quite sinister and quite dangerous. So until you start calling out China and India, how about you leave hockey, our national game, to us? Anyway, guys, I think there's a snowball's chance in hell that message is going to get to Bonita and her colleagues at the NDP caucus. But whatever, we can try. Don't come after hockey, Bonita. Especially not if you don't want to be featured on Ratioed again. All right, that's going to do it for us this week on the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Harrison Faulkner. I will catch you next Thursday, and this is Ratioed.